Paul says that the rich are also not to set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches. Now, this phrase can also be translated as to trust in wealth that is easily lost. And it's been said, there's a saying, right? Today's gains are tomorrow's losses, right? In other words, that material wealth is transitory, it's temporary, and that it's foolish to depend on it as your basis for security and providing for your needs. Why? Because fundamentally it undermines your trust in God. That essentially you're choosing to put your trust on your material riches versus trusting in the master, the giver of all the gifts. And so Paul says, right, the rich need to be careful not to see themselves in this way, but rather to set their hopes on God, who richly provides us with everything to enjoy. In other words, we who are rich can avoid this danger of being properly by being properly oriented towards God. So Paul calls us, placing your hope in God. And so how can the rich believer put their hope in God in this way? Well, it can only be done by recognizing that one's wealth comes from God. And so that is basically the fundamental shift in perspective that we need to be aware of in order for us to properly see our wealth and place our hope in God. Right? That essentially it can only that our wealth, one's wealth, is all from God. It's a gift from the Master. And as such, gifts from God, as it says in our passage, are meant to be enjoyed.